Hello there. In this video we continue exploring Vue and we dive a little bit more inside the terrain editor and we'll look how to work with little bit with functions inside the terrain editor. For this we're going to use procedural terrain. If you are not familiar or you miss some of those videos, refer to this course set of these videos that related about latest Vue application. Okay, to create procedurals or function-driven terrain, we can do by going on the left side in our toolbar, and you'll notice right here we have the kind of mountains with the X. This is said it is procedure-driven terrain. So if you don't have that showing, you can access by right-clicking and select from pop-up menu down right here where you can see mountains with X. Let's click on this, and you notice right here we have our terrain created. Before we jump, let me point to this. Notice you have it like large triangles, small, and very small. This is power of procedural terrain, that resolution is changed depending how close the camera to the surface itself. The closer you're getting, the more details it can create. And this is kind of nice about this, because if I want very high resolution terrain in a standard, then I need increase resolutions of the per each pixel calculating, which is in some cases I don't need it. Like right here on the background, I will never see that side, and I don't want create all those polygons. But in this case, with procedurals, it's with the camera very close, it's add a lot of details, and as stepping away, you don't need those details. So they will less polygons will create it. They also notice that this it's not generated on the creation. This is run time. So it's meaning if we're going in the future make animations, and I move my camera maybe closer like to this area, you can see right here how it's changed. Now it is around the camera more details. So this way it's meaning in your animations, if you come closer, the program will generate more and more details as camera get close. That is a plus and minus. Big plus, you don't need to worry about create details because camera come closer and you can see more and more details. But minus, if you place some object or anything and details not yet there, they maybe have some overlap or other kind of intersect with polygons, because program did not create some of the shapes and they will add later, so they kind of will affect this. Okay, let's take our camera and we'll just move a little bit back. To edit this terrain, if you want to modify generic or a shape of this, we can right click and go edit object, or you can just double time click on the terrain itself, which is open this terrain editor for us. Just reminding how we can navigate in terrain editor. If you hold down Alt or Option key and at the same time click left button, then you can rotate your terrain. If you Alt or Option click and middle button on your mouse, this will kind of allowed you to pan your terrain left and right. And of course, our right button will be working as a zoom with same combinations. Press and hold down Alt or Option key. So this is kind of almost look like standard terrain, and you'll notice on the left side we have option. We can create almost everything except the using image as a base is not available for us. Well, in this video actually I will show you how we can add image, and this is helpful because if you want to keep it same kind of shape but you want to have this procedural effect, we actually can combine those together. Okay, let's look how we can access the functions. If we look on our right side in a graph tab, and by the way, if you are on a standard terrain, you won't have this graph tab available for you, but in a graph you can see you have a preview of our noise, and it's simple Perlin noise generated, and also some additional object like mapping type and everything. But right to this preview we have this button which is We'll have it our download, have a swap, but most important for us, they stop with 3, this kind of square. This is new to, if we click, we can access function editors. So let's go ahead, we'll click on this and notice we have a function graph available for us. And this is node-based system. We did preview a little bit before, but just in case you kind of miss or forgot a little bit, on our left side here, it's our input node. On our right side is our output node. For example, here we have a position for in orientation 3-dimensional space, X, Y, and Z. And you can see by the red color, it's tell me it's the vector. In this case, vector 3, X, Y, Z. Next, it's going to multiply to our the fractal, what we're using. This is simple fractal here. And after altitude output blue, and blue is going for the numbers. And numbers going from 0 to 1, 0, it's black, 1, it's white. And it's kind of going altitude build this way. Because it's have it only gray altitude and position X, Y, it's meaning it won't have it overhanging kind of pixels. Only it's simple. The next pixel can be up and down, but cannot go over another pixel or another positioning. But if you needed to create special sculpting, it's allowed to do later in the sculpting. We'll look on this in our next videos. Okay, right here we're going look on our function, and this is if we select simple fractal. Down below you can see we have it our properties for the specific node we're selecting. On the left we have a preview, and the same things you can right here preview how it's look. On the middle we have it, well, kind of right middle, I think. Right here we have it our selections, and you'll notice it's have it named simple fractal. And if we click down right in drop down menu, we have a different type of fractals we can use it. Some of them like crystallic, you know, the squares, so the other things more mathematical, kind of correct. We also have it eroded rocky mountains, a very nice different type of fractals. Currently, let's just keep it Perlin noise. What are we going to use? Simple fractal. By the way, you can also change what type of noise we're using, and you can see it's additional. So it's simple fractal. You have it all is preset that we can already pre-create it, and also just noise we can use it. So it's a quite bit collection of different type noises that is generate for us height for our mountains we can use. Let's change something. For example, instead Perlin noise, we can go to Cellar and use it crystals. And you can see how it's changed in preview. So the crystals more look somewhat geometrical, but because it's also using some roughness in other elements, it's add additional noise over this, so they won't look totally clean. But if needed, we can modify this as well. But right now, let's just change this way. We'll click OK and see how it's changed. This is our preview. By the way, if for some reason you don't like this edgeless, you see how it's out on top like mountains, we can uncheck edges, and now we have it our all view. When we try with different type of fractals, not everything work well. Some of them very rough, non-realistic. And to work with this realism and everything, we want to go inside the fractal node and modify some of these parameters. Wavelength, it's how far, if you think about the, because noise, how creating noise, it's how far one from another noise will be. So if we decrease these wavelengths, will be smaller items. Larger features and smaller features, it's again, if we look on our, well, let me look right there. This is larger features, you can see big. And if we look on the small details, that is obviously will be our small. So modifying this will affect. So let's take and reduce our large features. Oops, right here. And you'll notice different. Same. If we want increase smaller, we can bring in, which is increase overall noise. Let's click OK here. And you can notice our largest, those mountains, larger features, they decrease, they're gone. So we don't have this, but we have much more smaller kind of details here. Okay, let's go look on this next. And of course, we have our roughness. Roughness is what create how much noise applied to this. So if we want almost make it like a dune smoother, let's just reduce this roughness. Click OK, and you can see how it's smooth already applied. You remember before, and this is a little bit smoother. Also, you see what I said, it's look like crystals, and you can definitely see the crystals inside. So we can easily create like alien planet if you wanted or something with this. Okay, let's go back to our preview, and right here to our edit our nodes, and we have our roughness down. Gain is how a signal will increase overall. We also have additional filtering, and filtering allowed us to modify parameters. For example, if we say parameters from 0 to like black or low level, we want kind of make more plateau, we can create this curve. So for example, if we go to edit filter, and we'll just take one, and we'll say we want to have like spikes in one case, and you can see how it's affecting our terrain. Okay, let's go ahead back, and I'm just going to reset the filter, so we'll go back to what was original. We also can modify or add additional octave. Octave, it's how many noise. If we created 2, 3, it's a noise that will overlay more and more. It's add more details, but these could create less controllable how it's look terrain. Well, in general, I will say try to play with these different noises. Usually it's what I do. I just go select different like Perlin noise, gradient. I found value gradient work okay. You can always play with something else. And again, if we done this, we probably want to increase larger features a little bit more. Okay, increase smaller and increase a little bit roughness. So we have it kind of a little bit more fun to look. And there you go. See, now it's look a little bit more like a bigger terrain. We can always shrink this. Remember, it says we can decrease, like right here, wavelength. So let's say if we reduce wavelength to 1 maybe. Let's click OK, and you can see as we reduce it now, noise almost think it's a stretch, and now it's shrink because wavelength come closer. So we can modify this way. Okay, let's go back here. And if I like it, but I don't like how much it is affecting, we can always reduce just a little bit roughness and drop the gain. Again, it's less, apply the gain, and it should be flattened out a little bit like this. Okay, let's go back to our node editor. And I told before that we could modify some stuff. For example, what if I want to use it partially image? Nice things about the nodes that you can take these nodes and combine them together to create better result. So let's see what we can have it. We have the input nodes, and by the way, if you click in the left side with nodes, you can click and see how many input nodes we have. We have a lot of cool different input nodes, but we want to use the image. For image, we want to go to texture map, and we want to use the projected texture map. This has allowed us to preload image in this. So let's go select here, and in our properties down below, we want to go ahead and click on the load button. And on this, I'm going to use the custom. By the way, this is what I'm going to use. It's available for free download. Just go join as a Patreon member. You can go, you don't need, it's for free tier. So you can go and download it. This kind of map we're going to use. So for this, I'm going to use the high field right here. We'll just select this and click OK. Notice it says color normal data. We'll just use it color because we're going black and white in this case. And as an output, it's come the green, so it's color. We need to figure out how we can connect, mix those two together. For this, we need to have it combiner. And combiner allowed us to combine values. As well, we don't want to use it color output. We want to use it gray output because color will give it as RGB, give it as value for every color. And if we're using grayscale, it's only from 0 to 1. So this is what we want to do. For this, let's go ahead, we'll right click, or you can navigate from your left side. And actually, yeah, let's go to right here to the our combiner, and we'll go and just use it Blender. We could use different nodes. It's have, for example, combiner node allowed us to combine different, and even it's showing one input. As soon we're creating input in, it's another will appear. So don't worry if it's have it only one input. But the Blender allowed us to actually have it rate show between which one we want stronger, and that is useful in a case if we want, say, I want more details from Perlin noise, but I want to keep it this shape. So you kind of can play with this. And we'll go take altitude, put it on input 1. We'll take it from here, the grayscale output, and put on input 2. And we'll just take output and select to the altitude. Okay, next, just to experiment, we'll take rate show, and let's say blend, they kind of blend together. Again, add, it's one value, add to another. Maximum, it's take whatever is highest from, and use maximum, say minimum, subtract and multiply. So we want to use the or blend or add. From what I found out, that work better. And let's just say we want to have it blend for now, and let's go blend 1. I mean, we're going all the way to the image map. We click OK. You'll notice right here we have it our map creating for us. But of course, because it's based on the image, the resolution won't be increased. We actually says don't use it any noise. Okay, let's go back per noise. If we're going to our blend, and we're going opposite all the way to the 0, now we says only use it noise, and you can see right here it will use only this. So probably what we want to do is find a nice medium. Okay, let's go ahead, and for the shape medium, if we go in the middle, it will be kind of between. I don't know if we want to do this. I will say let's go a little bit more towards top, and next we want probably to add values, one play between blend or add. So ratio 60, if we click OK, then we have it our mountains. You can see right here we have it our shape mountains, but at the same time you can see like on the edges we have it a general resolution. Let's go click OK, preview, and you notice we still have these polygons from Fractal. So we have the better resolution on the sides, but at the same time we have keep it shape of our mountains from our image. Let me test this. We'll take our camera and we'll bring our camera very close to our mountain. Let's see what's happening here. And you can see we still have some nicer details. With images, sometimes you will have a problem like right here. And you will have it if using JPEG or other ones. Sometimes you may have it pixelizations. For this, you want to increase resolution over all of your loaded image. Okay, let's go back here, and we can preview again. We can click on increase resolution. It's just increase preview. Okay, let's go ahead, add it a little bit more. There are another options you can also try to play. Like for example, we can have it add, so it's add one value to another, and we can just have it like on the middle. Let's click OK. Notice it's a change because the add value, remember it's add to the middle, but we still have it our top. Let's smooth out, click OK, and as well here you can notice it's already changed, so we don't have this pixelization or other things. Oops, I think I moved mountain. I don't want to move my mountain. Okay. We'll take our camera and we can bring camera even closer to just preview how it's looking. And there you go. You can see it's worked a little bit better, a little bit more details. Okay. Of course, it's got more tricks you can play around, but this way you can see how the power of the Fractal have details, and you can add those details to the specific mountain or image based. Okay, let's go ahead, look a little bit more now in our editor. I'm just open, double tap click, and overall we did create with Fractal. We played around with Fractal. We also have it our projected map or high map from some mountains. We added and we blend them together to create like take almost best of two worlds. Some settings here it's not magic wand. Okay, I cannot just give you specific numbers and you just plug in and it's work, because it is depend on the resolution of your image. It's depend on what type of the fractal you're using and how much blending. What I will recommend you to understand how these nodes and how the things working in this case, and try experiment by yourself with different type of the fractals, maybe different type of the blending, see which one is work better, and just let me know, share with this your findings. Say when you found some nice interesting combination, you can tell this and says, hey, if I combine like for example max with 0.5 on a blend or like some other elements and it's come up very good, that will be very nice to find out. Okay, so here this is simple, and I hope this does not scare you, because as I said, the hardest parts for me it's knowing what nodes we actually have in here and what we can use it. This is hardest probably part to do, and they're constantly adding new nodes, they're constantly improving those nodes. So in many times when I come back, when new release, I look and I'm like, oh, I did not see this node, so I just release it. It's a very powerful tool. Okay, and of course, if you don't like it, you can always disable these options. Well, let's change a couple things. Let's go right now. We have a simple fractal here, and I want to change from this to maybe Rocky Mountains type of fractal. You see how it's changed quite a bit because our wavelength. Let's go just expand our wavelength, and notice if I just type an X, not Y, it's stretching them, which kind of cool, I think. And same with 4.5. Let's go on a Z. You know what? Maybe we should stretch. Let's do this. Let's stretch to the 10. Look what's happening. See how it's stretching even more. 4.5, I think, look cooler right there. Same, we can increase like larger features, make them a little bit bigger, pop up smaller features, reduce roughness. Again, I think it's fine. And right below we have it optional rocks. It will create a small kind of like bump spread around. It is, we'll just leave it here, and let's go ahead and click OK. As we're creating with combine, you'll notice we have it peaks, but at the same time it will try to kind of work with what we have. I don't know if I like this way, so I'm going to modify in my blend mode. I'll go switch back to the blend, and I'll pull up a little bit more towards my mountains. Let's go click OK. And here we have it different. We have it our mountain generic shapes, but it's also it's blend with this new fractal that we're creating, almost like a sand dunes or other. I think it's look very cool. Let's go click OK. So it will accept it, and there's in the preview you can see we have the beautiful, very interesting mountains created. Okay, let's go take our mountain, maybe like rotate around that area so we can preview sides. There you go, look on this. It's almost look like stratus, kind of very interesting, unusual type of the mountains we're creating. I'll take my main camera and just bring a little bit closer so we can look better on those details. Okay, next what I want to do is actually render, because preview, it does give me interesting preview, but many times when you actually final rendering, it will look slightly off because resolution for the fractal start calculating properly, and we may have it better results. So I'm just leaving as a final. I'm going to internal render. I don't use nodes. Render to screen, and I will have it HD resolution. Let's click OK and click on the render button. Okay, so here our render is completed. Let's click OK and preview our image. Of course, we can see definitely our original image. You can see as erosion going on this, and also the new which apply from Fractal, those unusual ways we created. So it does add more details. It definitely will increase perception of resolutions because we adding more details with a fractal. We don't necessarily need to add this dramatic. We can add just small, like teeny tiny rocks, like a pebbles or other rocks. We can add those in this, but they will be not as visible in this render. And for our example, I think this is a very good way to see how the procedurals can work with your image and enhance in this way. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you pick up a little bit more information on how it works, and most important, look a little bit more in depth on a function editor and how they work specifically with a fractal terrain. You don't necessarily need to add image. You can just go ahead and play with a different type of the fractals, see how they will affect and create very unusual terrains. And the best way to learn what fractals or what the functions can do, it is by the practicing and trying the different function by yourself. It's hands-on, and it's what I prefer. I prefer to work kind of like this with project exploration type. Of course, remember, you always can access the manual, and it's very good documentations with good images that help you to see how all of this look, what is every functions can create. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.